from it.
So, good morning.
Howdy.
Welcome to the show. So,
Welcome.
we'll just talk amongst ourselves for the time being.
I guess so. Are we the only ones here?
I don't see anybody. Let me do this.
Did you share it on YouTube? I don't see it on YouTube. Oh, there
Yeah,
you
it
are.
should have.
Yep.
And we're not.
We're live. Nobody shows
Oh,
up,
there's
I
Cindy.
guess.
There's Lady.
Cindy Lady.
Yeah, it's starting to get.
Boop, boop, boop,
Um,
boop, boop.
so, you know, my one of my twins got married, and he just got back from his honeymoon. We had big things planned for this weekend, being my 65th birthday. Plus, we were having a hangout with, not hangout, but we were supposed to have our Christmas gathering with Roberta's family and my daughter in law. That's so strange saying that. My daughter in law called me or messaged Roberta yesterday and said she has just tested positive for COVID.
Oh no.
So I was in the car with when I picked him up Monday night. I was with him for about an hour,
No.
and then
You were exposed.
Sasha was with us, and then on Monday night, and then Tuesday night, Sasha and Sergey went over to their house and hung out for a few hours. So Roberta's father has some breathing issues and whatnot, and COPD, and so she called her mom to say, this is what's going on. And that's right, there's a brand new baby, Elisha. And she wanted to know whether she thought we better just kind of like postpone our trip up there. So that's off the table.
Hmm.
So,
Well, that's no fun.
yeah, bless her heart, she just officially joined the family, and Vanya hasn't tested positive. So we're just going to be laying low this weekend. Roberta's she's got a cold, and I don't want to aggravate that anymore by getting out in the weather, and because it's cold here. I know our Yankee friends are like, it's not cold there.
Hmm.
36 degrees.
We're supposed to get up to 75 today. It's getting
Wow.
kind of a warmish 52 right now, but kind of a warmish November or December 2nd.
So that was,
But yesterday morning it was chilly.
yeah. It got up to, after, I guess, about noon, it started warming up outside. So we just got to do what we got to do.
Yep.
Um, Another thing yesterday in my playlist, Teresa, Texas Gal Treasures, posted a video. Do you follow her?
Uh, I don't. Once in a while I'll watch one of her shows.
Well, she posted a
I used to
video
watch her
yesterday.
all
It
the time.
was really good. Hey, lag. Um, Apparently, she had a bunch of the pin-on buttons listed, and some other reseller started harassing her about you need to pull them down because of threats and stuff like that. And I'm gonna post that's a link
Threads.
to that video. Um, said they were fake, and they had to pull them down, and all this mess. And um, so she said nowhere did she say they were real or not. Yeah, I mean, they were originals or not, because she said she didn't know. So he ended up telling her, making some threats to her, and I don't know what it is. She didn't say, lag. And so she started seeking out. First of all, she was going to ban him or block him, and she said she's glad she didn't, because he said that if she didn't pull him down, then he was gonna buy them all, and then he was gonna ship them back to her one at a time, as not as described. Um, which of course would cost her a lot of money. And if she had blocked him, he could have went ahead and done it, and not she wouldn't have known anything about it. So her videos about how, if you have a problem with a reseller, um, what routes you can go, and where you find where on the eBay website to file a complaint, or to report the seller for threatening and whatnot. So it's really interesting. It's only about 10 minutes long, so go check it out. Yeah, I said Teresa, it's Margaret and Isa. Good morning, Harbors, and good morning, Anissa. Um, it's a really good video. Lag, I put the link. It's a Here's the link to that video again. I think maybe everybody should go look at it. If you're not a subscriber to her, subscribe to her. She's at like 98,000 subscribers, so she's close to getting her 100,000 button. But it's a really good video. I would, we're all friends here, so I will be frank. I think it's stupid as hell that you make threats through the eBay chat. So eBay, all it has to do is click on your account, and they can go back in and look through your messages. I mean, you talk about a paper trail. So, anywho, no, Craig, I'm not talking about you. You're like me. It's been a while since you've had a really good video. Uh, like she did report them to eBay. But like I said, there's the links in the chat for that video she put out. And I just really would never think about doing something like that. I've had some crazy resellers, but I mean, not crazy resellers, crazy buyers, but oh, and she did go look at their store, and they sell buttons too. So, anyhow, there's your public service announcement today. Go check it out. Leave a message for her. Tell her that you saw that I told you to go over there and watch it. So I know that just made her day just as I'll get happy as I'll get out. So Todd, what's going on with you?
Not much. I went and did battle with the Lutherans yesterday and bought some gravy boats and some a ship model, and
Cool. Is it a complete one that's already assembled, or it's just what's still in the box?
yeah, it's a wooden boat.
Oh wow!
Assemble yourself.
Wow.
And I got.
Let me give Roberta sitting, of course, right across behind my monitor. Todd likes to go to the Lutheran church when they have their rummage sale, and there's a couple of ladies up there that I think they must really have a thing for Todd, because they have to argue with him every time he goes in there. and they're all old as they're old. They're older than Todd. I think that one that I think she had a thing for you there for a while, Todd.
Yeah, those ladies are really sweet when they talk to you, and then they go stick a knife in your back when you're at checkout.
Well, you got to make money off it. They got to make money off of that free stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, when I was even into teenagers, as a teenager, I like putting together models, and I put together a lot of them. Good morning, Deborah. And used to be you'd go someplace to a big department store, and they would have these huge sections of models in your in the toy department, and now they might have a 4 foot section with two shelves, and they look like total disarray because nobody ever none of the employees, the associates, ever give those that area any love by kind of like straightening it up and organizing. Which I hear. Well, last time I was in, was it Joanne? Yeah, it was Joanne's. They have models in their department. They have a good many models in their area. Yeah, Deborah, there used
Yeah,
to be a shop in Rock Hill that had nothing but models, and his wife was a flight attendant, and so she traveled a lot abroad, across,
yeah. We had a
back.
hobby store where I grew up, and I loved going in there and just picking out a model car, or I was kind of into that line of models that were monsters like Frankenstein and Dracula and
Right. Were they the
Phantom of
tall
the
ones?
Opera.
Were they about, I don't know, 6 inches tall?
They're probably more about a foot tall when you got
Okay,
big.
because I remember my uncle. Um, he used to put them together, and they would have like a little panoramic base. Like I think it was Frankenstein. It had like a cemetery that it stood on, and there was a tombstone and all this kind of mess. But anyway, the guy in Rock Hill, he would have a lot of foreign models, and they didn't stay too long. People would come in and buy them. Uh, Lag, we're talking about toys, plastic. You put them together, not models as in you know
Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum. Yeah, thank you, Klum. Even though some of those models look like they've been put together with plastic.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. I got the Wolfman. I got the Mummy. I got the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I got Frankenstein. I got Dracula.
Those are the ones that you put together, or those are the ones that you bought
Yeah,
for resale?
no, I put them together. I think I threw them out when I went to college. Got the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, Deb. RC planes were big too. My brother used to have the RC cars, and those, to be battery powered, those things would fly. And all the departments, all the little shopping centers that didn't have a lot of traffic on Sundays, they would let the local RC club set up a track out in the parking lot because, of course, people would stop to look at the the little RC cars zipping around, and then they'd go in and grab something from the cafe or the community cash or whatnot. And community cash was a local department store. I mean, grocery store. I only think they had like 3 stores all total. And now
Yeah,
kids just don't do
those.
nothing like that. They fly RC planes on their cell phones, and they don't get outside and try to make them fly. People can say what they want to, but I think we lived in a good time
Oh yeah.
because now things are exciting. New electronics would come out, and you're excited. Everything now is just nobody goes outside anymore. Um, there's not been any really. They've come out with fancy cell phones, but they're still a cell phone. Okay, they're not the size. They're not the size of Deb's Gucci pocketbook anymore. They're you can hold them in your hand.
Yeah,
And
I just looked at some of those models on eBay, and assembled ones are selling for like 25 to $100. Ones that I did. Oh
I
well.
got I got some from Russia, and they were submarines, and they were from the Soviet era. Their their injection molding was not very precise. Yeah, like
I don't think their submarines are all that precise either after watching all the movies about subs going down and or
well, one of the things is they're so
never they
noisy.
might ship out and never see them again.
Yeah, they're Typhoon class, which is a really huge, mega big one. It's so noisy they can hear. They can stick a cup down in the water off the coast of Washington and hear them leaving the Soviet Union. So what you got on the agenda for this weekend?
Uh, I need to make some money. I need to just list. Um, Nothing much really. Hopefully, I don't want to do anything. We got Christmas coming up, and things are going to get busy around that time. So I just want to be calm for a couple of weeks.
Right now, are your boys coming home for Christmas? Or are they going to be?
We'll get together somehow, some way. I don't know. We haven't made any plans yet.
It's
You can help me make money, lag. I'm not going to go stand on a street corner and get out my stripper pole again. If I ever been to Mexico, yeah, I've been to Mexico.
oh Lord.
I don't think I want to go back now with all the shoot. The last 15 years going to Mexico has been dangerous. At least at the border of Texas.
Have you noticed any? Have you noticed any kind of delay in your mail lately?
Mm, no, customers. You talk about shipments to customers?
No, your mail. It's coming to you and Gwen.
Oh, nah.
Like something's coming, but it just takes forever to get there. I ordered a replacement debit card because mine has a chip in it, and it doesn't always work. I have to stick it in 3 times, and if that doesn't work, I have to end up swiping it. So I ordered a new card, and should have been here last week and it still hadn't got here. And Sasha had to renew his license, his driver's license, and he did that over a week ago, and it still hasn't got here. Normally they come within 5 to 7 days.
I need to get a card protector for my billfold because everything I cram in my billfold and then I sit on it, all my cards tend to bend and break.
Oh, I thought you was going to think about those guys with the ray guns that can shoot through your butt and get all the information off of your
Oh,
credit cards. I was going to tell you, just start wrapping them individually, wrap them in aluminum foil.
it's kind of a mess when you're doing checkout at Walmart, though.
We'll just pull out that Black American Express card you got and just use it for all your purchases. You know, that's the one where you that doesn't have a limit on it. All the rich people go buy jets and stuff like that all with it. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Nishana.
it's been a
What?
while since I bought a jet, Tom.
Well, I know you don't have one of those because Gwen would not let it sit on the ground the way she likes to travel. Nishana Lee has a question. Since she's been out of eBay, she says since 2018. So,
Sure.
what's your question? I'm sure one of these learned individuals can answer it.
Ron sold an item for the charity thrift store with a video showing it running. Well,
Does it look like it was damaged? Does it look like it was damaged in transit or anything, Nishana? I
if you
mean,
got pictures of it with the serial number and they ship it back, I mean, you can't stop them from returning and
yeah,
calling it an INAD. You just can't stop that. But um, if they
wait till you.
return it and it's different than how you sent it, or if they send it back and it's the right unit and it's broken, then you can make a claim on insurance with the shipper that they broke it in shipping.
Yeah, how
Usually
long have
not
you
a.
had it, Nishana?
It's a pain in the butt to get USPS because there's so much to fill out. But yeah, ask the buyer for pictures of it and
Dang, it's been
send
over
those to
30 days.
USPS. Hey, USPS, you broke this.
A color wheel for a Christmas tree. I remember those. My mom and dad had a friend that always had an aluminum Christmas tree. And then they had one of those sitting out front of it that make it change colors. Yeah,
Oh,
have they actually opened a claim, Nishana?
well, if you got 30-day returns, you can deny the return.
Well, tell them to. I mean, it's been over 30 days, and if you only have 30-day returns on your listing, then I guess you could deny the return. But I would,
eBay should give you the option to deny the return.
yeah, they need, they need to open a return with eBay.
It says you close the return. Well, what did you select when you closed it? Or did you not close it? And eBay is just saying you closed it. That's odd. Very odd.
So they have opened a claim through eBay, and when you look at it, it says that you closed the return. Why does it say why you closed the return?
Don't you have to put a reason you closed it?
Yeah. Oh, I knew somebody was going to say something. Mr. Bumcrack, you got it.
Bum crack.
You're not right, Bumcrack.
He's not right in the head. Never has been.
Our friend from the UK posted, when I got here, I heard Mr. Tom say sticking it in 3 times and it doesn't work, so he has to swipe it. Then after buffering, I hear Uncle Todd saying his bends and breaks. Then I realized it was cards. Oh, Lord, you're not right. Yeah, reach out to eBay, Nishana.
Yeah, either call him or go
Oh,
on.
it said I closed it because I showed it running in the listing. I would just reach out to them and
I didn't know you could close it without resolving it. You have to either deny it or go ahead and give them a refund, don't you?
yeah, that's what I thought too.
That's the only way. You can't close it unless you do one of those two things, right?
And I thought
Either
eBay was
accept
the
the
one that
return,
I thought
deny the
eBay was the one that
return,
did the closing.
or go ahead and give them a refund. That's the only way you can close it, right?
Yeah, unless eBay closes it, or if the person that opened the claim, if they close it because of whatever reason.
That could be. I had a request for a return on a pair of pants a couple of days ago, and I went to go look at it, and boom, I got another message saying they closed the return. That was weird. It's
The other
like,
day, I was talking about the case where I shipped something to a lady and they opened up a claim saying it was not as described and they hadn't even received it. It was, the postal service was still showing it was like it was going to, I don't remember where it was going, but I want to just say it was it's supposed to go to Arkansas, but it was still in Tennessee, the tracking on it. So when eBay said that, they would have to pay for shipping to get it back, then they closed the account. Like I
this is
sell a
why
little
I
bit of
quit
anything.
eBay. I'm not quitting eBay. I mean, I get, every once in a while, I get something funky, and
I think most people have no problems
I get
with their buyers.
returns, but most of the time it's either a legitimate return on something I goofed up on, or there's a snag in the shirt that I didn't see when I was making a listing, and you know,
There's some things that I just tell them just throw it in the trash can. Send me a picture and then throw it in the trash can, and I'll send them back their money. because you start paying for shipping. Because whereas we look for the best prices in shipping, they don't. They take them and they just slap. Well, at least when they were buying their own postage. Now eBay sends them a label. But it used to be they would, it cost me $5 to ship it to them, and they take it and put it Priority Express back, and it cost me $35 to get it back.
Any cool sales?
Everything Todd sells is cool. Mine's just stuff.
I don't know. I've sold a lot of military surplus stuff, but I get a lot to sell.
What kind of
I don't
people
know
buy
how.
all this military surplus, Todd? Does it look like they're preppers, or are they just collectibles? Or good morning, Mike.
Like I've sold a bunch of like duffel bags. I mean, they're just general purpose. You can use them for anything. They got shoulder straps. Pack your clothes for college in it, whatever. I'm selling some military surplus long underwear. It's been selling pretty good. Just
Well,
'cause
it's
it's
getting
cold
cool.
outside, people need long underwear.
Yeah, and
Um,
apparently there's another one of these crazy cold fronts getting ready to come blasting through the states again, and because I somehow or another I got on. I think I looked at one person's video. He's a weatherman of some sorts, and now I just get like there's like six different guys and one girl that does weather reports, and so I get those on a daily basis just about. But it looks like the North is getting ready to get hit again.
I did another end and relist of everything this morning. Scott reminded us we needed to do that on his show yesterday. Tom sells sex toys.
Do what?
Steven says that you sell sex toys.
You know what? This is a terrible thing to say, but apparently that was big money before um, eBay. They kind of squelched that a little bit. But apparently, because I was watching this one video, YouTube video, this guy and gal, they bought and sold marital aids, and they were kicking back an almost 7 digit sales every year. I guess because people would see these boxes show up with eBay on it instead of Julia's House of Pleasure. It made it helped with sales.
Yeah. Oh, I've sold some vacuum cleaner filters and
I sold a bunch of
selling
filters for
knives.
the wicks for kerosene heaters.
Yeah.
I sold a bunch of those. I bought them at Walmart when they were like $1 a piece on clearance.
The silver coins have kind of stopped selling. I sold a bunch really fast and then haven't sold any silver in a little while. Just
Harbor, you know that jailbreak is a silver hair stacker. I was gonna change mine to the warden this morning, and I forgot to because with you and Scott, I just I'm still just amazed that you got hit. I thought you were in Florida, Mike. I thought you were down in like the Boca area.
Going to Florida for the winter.
I tell you what, as cool as it's
It's not a
been.
bad idea, but I don't think I'd want to move twice a year. I hate to move. It's been paining enough helping the boys move back and forth.
After they graduated, did they go away to college or did they go local?
Uh, they all stayed in Texas, but it would be like,
Well, I mean, did they live on campus? Let's put it that way.
oh yeah, yeah,
Like
or
my shirt.
apartments next to campus.
Oh, okay. Like my shirt says, annoying the world one person at a time. And I have no idea where it came from.
It's pretty appropriate for you though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I've been annoying Roberta all morning, I think. But, you know, I don't know how these kids get so much crap in a daggone dorm. I really don't. I helped a friend move from college. I went with her father to Columbia to help her move back from the University of South Carolina back to Rock Hill. And I had a Ford F-150 long bed with one of the shells on the back of it that was as
Mm,
high as the cab of the truck. We had that sucker full, plus his van full, and because he would go up and down he'd get stuff from a room, take it to the elevator, bring it down to the first floor, and I would get it, and go pile it up, put it in the vehicles. And I would kept saying, "Is that about it?" And he would just shake his head. I don't know where she had all that stuff at, and if her roommate had as much stuff. But
yeah, Nishana hadn't come to the show in a while. Hi, Carol. Mike, everybody. I haven't said hi to.
we had one vehicle full of stuff when Vanya came home from school.
Yeah, back when I first went to college, it was a carload of clothes, and you didn't have to haul around a computer back then. There weren't any.
Like your mom's going to have to kick you out sooner or later.
Always went down to the dorm lobby to watch TV.
Yeah, had a
Didn't
phone on the
have
wall.
didn't have a TV in the dorm room.
Good morning, Carol. You know, my best friend in high school, he lived on campus at Winthrop University,
Oh, you're getting a
and
hip
he
replacement, Nishana? Wow. My brother just got his knee replaced
uh,
about 2 weeks ago. He didn't qualify for college.
oh, she's having the hip replacement on the ninth. Um, how things have changed. My friend Claude, he had a choice. He could either use the hall. There was a phone on the wall in the hall that was a coin phone, or he could pay extra and have a phone in his room. And I spoke with him not too long ago, and they were having some kind of event at Winthrop, and he was down from Indiana, and he went to his old dorm, and where the phones at was on the hall. In the hall was of course gone, and there was no phones in any of the rooms anymore. I guess because everybody's got their cell phone. Yeah, Shauna, you take care of that hip once you have it done. I used
Like,
to,
smart guy like you didn't graduate high school.
I need to get hold of this. There's a guy on YouTube that he tracks down these. He and his team tracks down scam callers and whatnot. I need to contact him and see if he can track down lag.
Lag the scammer.
Not that he's a scammer, just that so we can find out whether he's the 17-year-old he professes to be or whether he's the 49-year-old mother of four.
Yeah, he's not very forthcoming with his. He's kind of the anonymous chatter. I think I heard one time where he lived, but whatever. Virginia or something like that.
Sorry, Deb. I have to sit in the right place.
Yeah, he's got advanced degrees. He's probably he's probably got a Nobel Prize or two sitting around in his closet gathering dust.
The He lives near Philly, so he says.
Who's gonna get sunburned? What are you referring to?
Um, Nishana, is this your second hip replacement?
Oh, he lives near. He's in Pennsylvania, huh?
Yeah. Anissa says she still follows Mike.
Your husband's gonna sell everything you got for $1. Sells watches on the street corner in a trench coat.
Oh Lord, Rut was done 5 years ago. Okay, I used to do some work for this older lady, and she had a knee because I have my knees and my hip and my shoulders bother me at times, and right now with this cold snap we're having, they really bother me. But she told me, she said that she had a knee replaced, and she said if you do not, when you cannot absolutely bear it anymore, then that's when to get a knee replacement.
Right. And then see your husband's gonna get a roll-off dumpster if you croak. Just yeah. When I die, I think all my eBay stuff is just going in the trash.
Well, you
I
need to
just
set all your watches and stuff in a box, so at least she won't throw those away.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
something
hard to
happens to
tell
you,
with
Todd.
my M.
Gwen's going to become one of those people you see that lives on cruise ships all year round. She likes to go.
He's got the roll-off renter on speed dial.
You know, one day we got some we got some junk mail from one of the retirement communities here in town, and I asked Roberta. I said, "Did you request this information? Should I be concerned?"
That's right, Julie.
Yeah.
It would take her like 8 weekends in a row to sell off a fourth of the junk that's lying
Uh,
around here.
Are are you kidding? She will send out a she will send out a notice to everybody, and there'll be 3,000 resellers there the first weekend.
Yeah,
But
basement would
everybody
be
knows
nice.
Todd's got good crap. Yeah, Scott, people ask why, especially around the Charleston area, people ask why houses were like basically their main floor was, you
Tom,
know,
give Nishana a wrench.
what? Okay.
She
Um,
deserves one.
Let me see if I remember how to do that. Oh, I'm in the wrong screen. I got to come over here.
You got to go on the YouTube side,
Yeah.
doofus.
There's my other criminal.
Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da.
I was tired of typing, so I'll come in and talk.
Um,
Welcome to the jailhouse rock.
Yeah, people don't realize that the water table down south is much higher, so we don't get a lot of basements
Yeah,
due to seepage and ceiling issues.
we live on a limestone hill. It would take dynamite and earth moving equipment to
Because I think
build a
that'd be a
cellar
perfect
here.
house if you had a full basement underneath it where you could just back into it and unload your junk and never
Mm,
take it upstairs. And if it's big enough, you wouldn't have to worry about ever seeing it. You can go downstairs and work. You can shut it off. I think that'd be perfect for this kind of business.
well,
yeah,
all the southern coastal states, I will say that. Um, the main
yeah. The
living floor
only
was always a foot off was always one floor off of the dirt because you couldn't go, you could probably go 2 feet into the ground and then you would hit water table, but also you wanted to get that main floor up where the wind was kind of hopefully blowing to keep it cool.
I had a basement in one house I used to have, and it was always humid down there. Everything always got moldy. If it was
Yeah,
made out of
remember
cloth
when
or
Dusty had a house that he rented that had a basement. Remember that was his whole problem. It was always moist and wet. He talked about it a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
he had to
So
Well,
put in a pump to pump out water, didn't he?
yeah.
yeah, he had a sump pump in it.
I mean, where
So
we're at, we have walkout basements. Like
we lived at the
what?
beach too for 14, 15 years. So there's no basements at the beach.
Yeah. It kind of gets basements kind of get wet, but we don't have like what you when you see like TV shows or anything that's like up north where they have a basement that's in the ground, a hole in the ground.
Yeah,
Pretty much down here we have, if you can have a basement, it's a walkout basement because you're on the side of a hill and
yeah.
the second floor basement stays dry. Not all the time when the hurricanes come through Myrtle Beach. The third floors of the hurricanes. I mean, the hotels are still getting flooded.
Yeah, I don't hardly know of I mean, the South has a lot of split level homes where it acts like a basement, but it's just the bottom floor.
Yeah,
It's not really. So you have to walk up into the top floor, but it's not really a basement. They
my
think it's
parents
a basement, but it's not.
my parents
Black's
had
got
one of those
multi-level
things.
basements.
My
He's
parents
probably
had one of
got a
those tri
nuclear
levels.
silo buried under his house.
Can't you see lag as that guy standing on the street corner? He goes, "You need a watch," and he opens up his car, and the whole coat's full of watches.
Yeah,
He's on one side and Felix is on the other. Don't sell my Folexes.
Yeah, Mike Dusty. I think he, I think he emptied that basement after that flood that he had that time.
And he went back the last couple of years. He gone back to using it, but he was very picky about what he put down there. Most of it was boxes and stuff. It wasn't anything. If he lost it, it wasn't a big deal. But he'd been he'd been trying to use a little more because that house was an older house, and so when he went upstairs, there was only like two rooms out upstairs. The house only had one bathroom.
Yeah, it was an arts and crafts style house.
It's a beautiful house. Don't get it is an absolutely beautiful house, but it's you get used to having multiple bathrooms in these indoor houses.
Do you ever hear from his kids, or do you ever see his kids run into him in town or anything?
Yeah. So so Dusty had a secret. I'll tell y'all his secret. I think I might have told people it. Um, there's a guy in town who used to own a thrift store. He doesn't own it anymore because they redid the plaza and he's not so he just sells online. But we run into his name is Duck. We run into Duck all. Me and Harlan run into Duck almost every weekend at yard sales. I mean every weekend. And Duck used to buy estates and buy um, storage lockers, and so a lot of the stuff Dusty got came from him because Duck loved to sell the big stuff, the furniture, the appliances, all the big stuff. But then he didn't have. Dusty wanted the weird stuff. Dusty wanted the paper. Dusty wanted the stuff that there was not a lot. And so every time he would buy a unit, he called Dusty and said, "Hey, I bought this unit. You want to come look through and see if there's anything you want?" Same thing. He bought estates. That furry estate. Duck is the one who bought the furry estate, and so that's how. So so he was very quiet about it, and he was so secretive about it, and I was respectful enough of Dusty that whenever I was shooting video, if Duck was in a video, I would delete Duck out of the video, so nobody would know. Even in one of my videos, you would never see him because I would speak to him every time I saw him. He's a really nice guy, but he doesn't do anything online. Never cared to do anything online. Never knew Dusty had a YouTube channel. Um, Dusty's family never knew he had a YouTube channel hardly. So he was very compartmentalized. So most people, if they knew Dusty, they knew he sold stuff a little bit here or there, but nobody knew anything about his online life and the fact nobody had any clue about Alabama pickers, and then most of his audience had no clue that his main source of. I mean, he was a good picker. Don't get me wrong, and he had a lot of other sources, but his number one source was Duck, who would call him and say, "Hey, bud, I got all this stuff. What do you want to do?" And I know he would mention in videos, somebody called, I had to go or something.
Yeah.
It was always Duck calling to say, and so he didn't have a lot of time because if it was a unit or something needed to be cleaned out, he had to go right then because if you buy an estate, you're under time to get it out. So that was and this it, it's just I don't know what people.
Do you know whether he sold all that furry stuff that he had?
He got rid of
He
most
had
of
all
it.
those magazines, and
Yeah, he got rid of most of that. Yeah.
because I remember the night he was showing those on one of his lives, and I posted. I said, "Man, you'll sell that stuff fast," because a lot of it was vintage stuff.
Oh yeah, it was from the 80s around here, 80s
Yeah.
and early 90s. Yeah, but it was that was yeah, he was very different, very there was only he went to some thrift stores and stuff around here, but most of the stuff, he would always talk about relationships, and you need to know, and that was one of the reasons why Dusty was so strong on relationships with other sellers and stuff because he would tell you not every seller is out to scam you, that you can buy from other resellers. And that was his main reasoning behind it all, is because one of his biggest sources was a reseller who just didn't have any clue about how to deal with and didn't want to deal with the paper and the whatever, everything that Dusty dealt with. Everybody has their own cup of tea about what they want to sell and what they're good at. He would tell me he didn't have room for VCRs, even though he knew there was money in it when I sold them. It's just that's just not what people. But he had a unique thing that he sold. So it worked out good. He and Duck had a great relationship because you know they each benefited from each other. It allowed Duck to buy more stuff because he could get rid of it, and allowed Dusty to have a constant supply of inventory.
Dusty didn't like electronics, especially
Not at
anything
all.
that required you have to think about how to connect it to your TV or whatever, your computer or whatnot. He just he just didn't like those.
No, what I bet if he was using this older computer, and I know I've told this story. We were on a we were in a hangout with me, Eric, and Jason, and I got a notification on my phone that one of the items on Brickstick I was watching got reduced, and I'm like, "Hey guys, gotta go. I'll see y'all tomorrow." And I went and jumped in my car and ran to the Walmart right by his house and bought the three computers that they had just knocked down to. They were $700 computers or
I
$800
remember
computers.
this.
They just put them down to like $150 each. So I went and bought all three of them that they had. And I'm walking through Walmart with the car and computers in the car, and I get a phone from Dusty. Dusty's like, "Man, I found a good deal on some computers. I'm about to go." I'm like, "You mean the three computers in my cart?"
That's a
He's like,
great story.
"You're just gonna resell them. I wanted one to use for me." I'm like, "I tell you what, I'll sell you one for a couple. I'll make $50 on it. I'll sell you one." And so that was the computer he used until he passed. I've got one.
That's a
I've still
great
got the other
story.
one. I've got one in my garage, and I sold the other one to pay for mine. So, yeah, it,
I remember when you were
I knew
chasing the little laptops, the what do you call them?
Chromebooks.
Chromebooks. Yeah, you were on somebody's show and you said, I'll be back," and you disappeared for about 45 minutes, and then you came back, and then that's when you said you had bought the Chromebooks.
And he's like, "I
So
knew whenever you jumped out of there so fast, I should have known you were up to something. I should have known you were watching the same thing I was watching because I know what you buy."
Cause you were like in the middle of a sentence and your phone chirped or something like that, and you looked at your phone and then you said, "I gotta go. I'll be back."
That's what I did that live. My phone beeped because I had notifications set up. I'm like, because I'm sure I wasn't the only one, so I went.
Are you doing much with Brixie anymore?
Not right now. It's Walmart, so they don't give you Walmart inventory anymore. They just tell you whether they're in stock or not because Walmart changed their either they changed their API that they allow people to use, or they changed something on their system where Brixie cannot tell you accurately the amount right now. I'm hoping to meet the guy who developed it because he lives here in Huntsville. We have a Huntsville meetup once a month. We're not having it again until January, but the guy who started that has been in touch with him, and it's just been bad timing. So hopefully January, February, I'll meet the guy who does Brick Seek. So maybe something good will come out of that.
You getting ready to get on call? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but and then so Duck, his sister, also had a shop where Dusty bought a ton of stuff from her because she worked at an auction. She buys and sells. What's up, babe? We see her. Come here. What's the matter? We see her a lot too. Phoebe.
All righty, it's that appointed hour.
Hmm.
Robert's got to get on a phone call. So I want to thank you, Todd and Scott, for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for coming into the
Yeah,
chat.
Why you
I'll
actually
be
call?
on Monday if I get out of jail.
Yeah, it should be. Did you check it to see what they said?
Uh,
If you
they
go to your
never
back of the
told me
house, look.
straight up how long the jail time was.
Yeah, if you go to the back of the house and look, it'll tell you.
So
So anyway, y'all have a great weekend. Look for Todd's show on Monday if he's out of
yeah,
prison.
Kanye was banned from Twitter.
There's a lot more to that. I never thought I'd be on the side of Kanye West. He's actually a pretty intelligent guy. If you listen to some of the stuff that they talk about with the way they drugged him and carried on, it'll tell you a lot about Hollywood and what happens. You put that together with what they did with Britney Spears and on and on. It's scary how they control people.
Yeah. Okay, I got to go. Y'all have a great weekend.
Merry
See you
Christmas.
Monday. Bye.
Right.